First, right off the top here on the night team, just into the newsroom moments ago, a young man has died after being shot several times in the Shelby Park neighborhood not far from downtown Louisville. This happened just before 9 o'clock tonight on South Jackson and Camp Street. Metro police officers found a young man with several gunshot wounds. After life-saving efforts made there, he died at the scene. At this time, there are no suspects and police are still investigating. If you have any information that can help detectives, call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And hello, everybody. Good to be with you on this Thursday evening. I'm Doug Proffitt. Also new on the night team, it's been a day of apologizing for Louisville Metro Police Chief Paul Humphrey. And then at a new LMPD-sponsored event tonight, the chief got emotional and personal as the conversation turned to his comments about the death of Tasha White. People pushing back on his earlier apology after he also gave specific details that she was actually involved in a murder plot to kill someone else. WHAS11 night team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Emma Gefter bring us inside tonight's barbershop talk.
Issue an apology and nothing else, this thing's gonna fester. So let me ask you a question. What should I do? It was a statement.
Police Chief Paul Humphrey seeing continued pushback from some people on his comments about the death of Latasha White, a woman who was reported missing on May 1st and found days later. The chief's apology also included specific details about her case.
Evidence shows that at the time of her murder, the two were en route together to commit another murder.
White's death has brought up a continued conversation to issues with LMPD's practices and handling of cases involving black residents.
It was one statement, it was one sentence, but it enforces and reinforces a pattern that some people have seen. And whether you like it or not, you took the job. So now you have to correct that.
At this evening event held by LMPD at a barbershop, Humphrey with a frank assessment of their criticism of him.
Like, I'm not discounting people's frustration. I get it. I'm frustrated too. You think that just because I put on this uniform, I don't carry the history of my blackness around with me. I carry the same thing that you carry around every day on this black skin. You don't think this is frustrating for me too? I watch little black boys get killed all the time. Been picking them up my whole life since I've been an adult. Same as you have buried them. It hurts me just as much as it hurts you.
This comes out of events by LMPD to connect with the community. This time, the tough conversations happening in the Boys to Men barbershop off Manslick Road.
We want to be working together to try to figure out some solutions to these homicides, 13 and 14-year-olds.
Teen deaths and crime came up too. While overall homicides are down, data shows teen deaths remain on track for this time last year.
The black community is hope
of the relationship that the community and police have. It's going to be hard. And the unfortunate thing is the bad is going to always be looked at more than the good.
Through these close conversations, there's hope.
And the way you build trust and transparency is by showing up and having frank and honest conversations, and he did that.
That the chance to build a relationship hasn't been cut off by a mistake. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
Part of the community conversations ongoing with police, and their next meeting will be August 25th at the Jefferson Mall, with more details on that meeting coming out later. Meantime, earlier today, White's family pushing back on Humphrey's comments.
I feel like he meant it. There's no need for apology. You said what you said, you meant what you said. Just do your investigation. There's no need to speak on an ongoing investigation. I feel like that's not your job right now.
And Metro Council member Tammy Hawkins sending us this statement. I am glad he apologized for his error in phrasing, but he needs to be more mindful about what he says publicly, as this has affected Ms. White's family as well as the black community. It seems to me that he's also trying to excuse the comments he made by giving more information on the case that was not public information until now. More top stories. Louisville Metro Police investigating after a man shot and killed in Valley Station. Police responded to the shooting on Dixie Highway at about 1:30 this afternoon. When officers got there, they found a man who had been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say a short time later, a woman showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound, which police believe to be from this same shooting. She's expected to survive. They are asking you to call the anonymous tip line with information at 574-LMPD. And we want to bring you this update tonight from Metro Police on the breaking story that you saw as it was happening during this newscast last night. LMPD says a car crashed into a tree in the South End. It then burst into flames, killing the person who was inside. That fire could be seen from the Waterston Expressway, and this was the scene from Trimark cameras last night, showing a large plume of smoke near the Waterston, near Taylor Boulevard and Dixie Highway, and then the ensuing investigation from our video there. LMPD said the car crashed into a tree on Churchman Avenue and Cuyahoga Street at about 10:30 last night. Police say the car caught fire and became engulfed in flames, killing the one person inside the vehicle. Here at this late hour, it's uncomfortably hot right now at 11 o'clock. We've got heat advisories and air quality alerts out for Kentuckiana. I'm joined tonight by the newest member of our weather impact team, meteorologist Matthew Willoughby. He's filling in for Mallory Schnell tonight. And Matthew, you moved to Louisville from Toledo. So great to have you as part of our WHAS11 family. So welcome to this very hot city. Is tomorrow also going to be this hot?
Oh, yes, it definitely is going to be another hot one. Yeah, I'm all used to the hot being from Louisiana, but, oh, man, I'm not used to it the past couple of years. Overall, though, yeah, it is definitely hot outside and still a little bit warm as we get to know towards the 11 o'clock hour. Temperatures right now in Louisville, 85 degrees, and the sun is completely down, and it's still warm and muggy. Some of those heat indices, 93 right now in Louisville, just at 11 o'clock. Some areas back into the upper 80s, but it is still a warm and muggy one for tonight. As we look at those weather headlines, those heat indices still going to sit into the triple digits for tomorrow, and those summertime showers also going to return as we head towards tomorrow. As just as Doug said, we do have that heat advisory in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow. That was extended until tomorrow as well. So we're going to see more with that and more heat on the way for your Friday coming up. So overall, still going to see the heat, but expected to be tracking more heat on the way as we head towards next week. I'll be timing that out coming up in just a few minutes. We'll send it back over to you, Doug. All
right, Matthew, great to have you. See you in just a couple of minutes. Thank you. Now, brand new tonight, only on the WHAS 11 night team. The Kentucky U.S. Senate candidates who want to replace Mitch McConnell in 2026 are already out there campaigning. And as part of our ongoing coverage of the race, we found Republican Daniel Cameron in Owensboro, Kentucky tonight. WHAS 11 political reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez was the only reporter at this event, asking Cameron about the sentencing of former LMPD officer Brett Hankison in the Breonna Taylor case and when's the last time he talked with President Donald Trump.
You know, Louisville has relented on a sanctuary policy that they had on the books simply because this administration said you need to comply with the law.
At a meet and greet in Owensboro, Republican Senate candidate Daniel Cameron applauds the Louisville mayor's decision to reverse its jail ICE policies after facing pressure from the Trump DOJ. In this Western Kentucky Republican stronghold, the former Kentucky Attorney General looked to distinguish himself from his longtime mentor, Mitch McConnell, whose seat he's trying to fill, and align himself with the president.
That I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard, I would have voted for RFK Jr., and I would have voted for Pete Hegseth.
Cameron talked to me one-on-one after the event.
Could you describe your last conversation with President Trump?
Describe my last conversation with President Trump. Last conversation I had with President Trump was a text message, which was something to the effect of, you know, your future's bright, that sort of thing.
According to Cameron, that exchange was right after he lost to Democrat Andy Beshear in the 2023 governor's race, a race in which Donald Trump endorsed him. I asked if there's any concern after that defeat that he may not get that support again.
I'm hopeful that President Trump will honor me with another endorsement and would be grateful for it. But at the end of the day, I've got to work hard. I've got to get to as many people as I possibly can to tell them about this campaign.
Well, if name recognition is a strength of Daniel Cameron's campaign, you could argue fundraising to some degree has been a weakness, falling behind Congressman Andy Barr, who's been able to transfer over a considerable amount from his many years in Congress. Is that gap between you and Congressman Barr on fundraising alone, is that a disadvantage for you?
Well, no, there's no disadvantage. Look, I'm leading in the polls. Andy Barr at some point is going to have to spend that money to try to, obviously raise his name ID. And, the thing that is the advantage for me has been my track record. And people across the Commonwealth have gotten to know me well.
Cameron's well known in Louisville, in part for his decision as state attorney general to charge former LMPD detective Brett Hankison for his role in the deadly raid on Breonna Taylor's home in 2020, though a jury later acquitted him. I asked for his thoughts on a judge now sentencing Hankison to 2 years and 9 months in prison in his federal case.
I obviously think that
it's important for, there to be some closure. And what I've always said about our case is what we did, what was right under the law. And I will continue to say that.
The primary is still 10 months away, but Kentucky's kickoff to the fall campaign season is just over a week away, with all 3 GOP Senate contenders expected to attend Fancy Farm. In Owensboro, Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Again, bringing you full coverage of the race for the U.S. Senate, the election in 2026. Daniel Cameron is facing current Central Kentucky U.S. Representative Congressman Andy Barr and Lexington businessman Nate Morris in the Republican primary. Right now, the only Democratic challenger for the U.S. Senate seat is from Louisville, State Representative Pamela Stevenson. Meantime, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has been expanding his national presence over the last month as speculation about a 2028 presidential run is increasing about our governor, the governor making appearances in South Carolina, and now the subject of a Vogue magazine profile. Beshear was asked today when he would make a decision about running for president.
Yeah, so right now, I'm simply trying to be a reasonable voice of common sense, common ground, and getting things done. If I am a candidate that can heal this country, then it's something I'll consider. If someone else is that candidate, they'll have my support.
The governor also noting that he is not seeking these opportunities out, that they are coming to him. Beshear pointed that these opportunities give him an opportunity to showcase Kentucky on a national stage. Jeffrey Epstein's former associate Ghislaine Maxwell met with a top Justice Department official today. It comes as the Trump administration faces more pressure to release the files related to the Epstein case. The meeting between Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Maxwell took place in Tallahassee, Florida. They say she asked for this meeting. After the meeting, Maxwell's attorney told reporters outside the courthouse she was asked a lot of questions and she answered all of them.
She never stopped, she never invoked a privilege, she never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
In 2022, Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. She's appealing her conviction of carrying out a years-long scheme with Epstein to groom and sexually abuse underage girls. Meantime, a prominent lawyer who has represented hundreds of Epstein's victims says that Epstein's estate has the alleged birthday book that the Wall Street Journal first exposed, reporting that it contains a bawdy letter and drawings written by Donald Trump. Attorney Brad Edwards said in an interview with MSNBC that some of his clients were involved in assembling the book and could attest to its authenticity. He's now urging Congress to subpoena the family estate for the book. Trump has denied that he ever wrote a letter or made drawings for the alleged birthday book. He's now suing the Wall Street Journal and its owner Rupert Murdoch over their reporting on the scandal.